All right, let's talk about Arizona HOA. You might hate them, you might love them. Are they really helping you to keep the communities clean and pretty, or are they just charging you to tell you you cannot paint your garage door a certain color? So today we're going to break it down and tell you all about the great things about HOA and the annoying things about HOA. Watch till the end. We're going to talk about why some communities don't have HOA but are still very well kept. Let's get started.
Welcome to our channel, Living Life in Arizona. I'm Sean.
I'm Betty.
We're a husband and wife real estate team here in the Phoenix metro area.
If you're thinking of moving to Arizona, or you already live here and you want to buy or sell a home, reach out to us. All of our info is down below. We would love to help you.
Yeah. So let's get started talking about HOAs. The hot topic. It's a love-hate relationship with a lot of people.
Yes, like we meet people on there like, I don't want HOA. Or like they're like, I don't mind, or like, I want HOA.
Yeah.
So we've lived in an HOA community and a non-HOA community. I
didn't mind. So
yeah, I really don't have a preference either way, but I do see the difference in both.
Yeah, I mean, we lived in Tempe, we lived in in Scottsdale, non-HOA community. It wasn't that bad.
Well, we did have a neighbor, like a couple houses down, that all of their furniture was outside, and I personally called the city a couple of times.
Oh, did you?
I did.
You're one of those?
Yes. Because it was just a lot.
It was
okay. Like,
it was a lot of
just take some responsibility.
I think first it was like a few chairs to sit outside, which we're like, oh, that's fine.
Yes. And then the whole living room came outside. That's when I had to intervene and say, please.
Yeah.
No.
So, and now we live in an HOA community.
Now we do.
And we're going to go through the pros and cons from everything we've experienced from our clients, from ourselves, everything we've heard, basically through our clients, that why they like HOAs and why they don't like HOAs. Again, our preference is, I think it's case by case, and it depends.
Yeah, it depends.
And we'll talk about that. And then we want to talk about at the end. So stay tuned to the end on why there are some non-HOA communities that look like they're an HOA community, on how clean they look. So let's talk about what an HOA actually is. And so what it stands for is a homeowners association. Mm-hmm. And what it is basically an organization. Some people that are watching may call it like the mob or something. Let's just...
Yeah.
So an organization...
I could see why, because I've witnessed when our community is new, we just turned it over to the HOA, and like the board process, becoming a board member was like a hot topic.
Yeah. So
I could see that.
Hang on to that point, because that's going to be... And what the HOA, the association, the organization, the mob, no, I'm just kidding, does is they kind of manage and maintain the common areas, enforce the rules of the community for the residents, and they're typically responsible for like landscaping, maintaining the amenities, the clubhouses, pools, such stuff like that.
Park.
And they make sure that the community, like they're ensuring the properties adhere to community standards. Okay. Yeah. So that's what an HOA is supposed to do. Mm-hmm. There's a board, it's within the community, right? Typically. So that's when the mob kind of like mentality comes into place.
You vote.
Yeah, you vote, stuff like that. And we're just joking about the mob stuff. It's just we've heard that from other people, so that's why we use that. So,
I thought it was appropriate to do.
So if I had to lean, I'm probably more 60-40 pro HOA.
I would say the same. I would.
Yeah, I think it's close.
Well, because we're not the type of people who would be like fighting.
Well, no, I mean, there's some stuff. I think there's also some HOAs that we would be way against too. So I think it depends, right?
Yes. I'm pro a lenient Joe. Like, don't bother me. I'll pay my dues. Don't bother me. But like, I like that you're there.
Yeah. Okay. So let's talk about the pros then.
Yeah.
Okay. So number one, I think, and it's not in order of the pros, but because we're gonna start positive today, not with the negative, because I know a lot of you guys are waiting for the cons. So you're gonna have to keep watching or just skip to the con section. First is curb appeal and cleanliness, right? So the HOA is there to enforce that everybody keeps their curb appeal cylinder. Now, some HOAs have rules like you have to have X amount of trees and bushes to this length and this height, which can get a little annoying. But the reason why this is a pro, in my opinion, is when you're driving through the neighborhood, there's not a car parked on someone's front yard. And I say that because one of our neighbors had one in Tempe. Was it Tempe or Scottsdale?
I think it's
Scottsdale, yeah. That there was just their car, they parked it in their front, not in their driveway, on their front lawn. Yeah. So that's where an HOA could come in, maybe the city too.
Normally don't see that in HOA community.
So they keep very clean curb appeal, like that. Number two, if you're in an HOA community, more than likely you're going to have amenities.
Yeah, not necessarily, but yes.
Yeah, so like pools,
more than like
parks, gyms, clubhouses, right? Gated entries, and those are covered by the HOA and they maintain them, right? Rather than if there's a park in the neighborhood, the city maintains that. This the HOA maintains that, right?
And some HOA covers roofing too, like townhome, like attached homes, like they cover. But yeah, if it's a new build, though, you gotta wait a long time to get it.
Yeah, but yeah, if it's like a condo townhome, they cover your roof, replacement, all that fun stuff. Any thoughts on the amenities?
Yeah, and some of them have really nice ones. I mean, if you want to live in a really nice community where there is amenities and stuff, like you're gonna be okay with HOA.
It's gonna be in an HOA community.
It's gonna be like someone has to maintain that. I've never seen anybody not have an HOA when they have.
There's a community pool or
Yeah, so someone has to maintain that. So if that's kind of what you want, what you're looking for, it's gonna be an HOA. And it's nice, honestly, like just to have like those options if you don't have a pool in your backyard. They do make sure that your weeds are not overgrown, we
get that notice a good amount of times, I think.
I mean, I do not appreciate, we were talking about like it gets really like when we were taking over the HOA, like the voting process of who's going to be on the board, it gets kind of spicy. And everybody wants to kind of like become in charge.
There's like politics.
Not everybody, but like certain people with personality types. And you do also have those people in the community where they would, walk around and make sure that everybody is following the rules and report it to the HOA.
Yeah, so there's those people.
Yes. So there are those people as well.
And those people I like to be friendly with.
Why?
Because they won't rat me out.
Oh,
you just want to you just have to have a good relationship with the HOA people, the board, and the person who hates the board that wants to take pictures of everybody. Be friendly with everybody. That's my rule in life. Next,
our weeds are overgrown. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see if we get the notice. Number 3 for a pro is it really protects, not all the time, but it does a better job protecting your property value, right? So for instance, if you're in a non-HOA community and you're going to go look at a house and the next door neighbor has the car in the front yard, that's going to hurt your property value. Now, if you go to another community that the whole street is pristine, they look very similar with the trees and everything is cut and maintained, that's going to help your property value. Because a lot of times, so we're in real estate and we help a lot of people buy and sell homes. And sometimes the biggest deal breaker is the next door neighbor.
Well, yeah, I was going to say that. And also, if you're in a non-HOA community, someone can knock the house next door and build a ginormous house. You have no say about it.
Oh, yeah. They could like literally be on top of you.
Yes. Like, and that affects your property value too. Like the HOA stops you for your neighbor from doing that. They can't do that. Or they could build a giant, I don't know, a rooftop so they can have a party.
Yeah, you're right.
And there are things that you cannot build upon or like change to your property if you live in a HOA community, and then your property value is protected in that sense.
Yeah, like the one that we saw. Did everyone have an HOA? The one in Gilbert, we were doing the open house, and they have all the people that came through the open house realized that one of the houses has a rooftop and it stares right over the whole neighborhood. And everyone was like, came to the open house. The first thing they're like, oh, do they go up there a lot? And we're like, well, we're not sure, but that's a non-HOA community. So something to think about. Number 4, community standards, right? So HOA is going to enforce like quiet hours, right? Parking rules, which is a hot topic in HOAs and going on in our neighborhood right now. Trash can regulations, right? So if you leave your trash can out now some HOAs, this is where they get a little extreme. and it's like a few hours after the trash is the city comes to take your trash, why are they still out, right? You'll get there's the extreme ones, but not all of them are extreme. Not many of them, I think, are extreme, where you don't want your neighbor leaving their trash can out for a week, right? Like that gets kind of annoying.
Yeah.
It kind of messes up the look of the neighborhood, right? There's some neighborhoods that don't allow, and this is more like condo townhome neighborhoods, that they won't even allow you to park in the driveway overnight because they want the neighborhood to just look very clean, right?
Very.
So
not cluttered.
Yeah. So there's a lot of pros in that, where if you want your neighborhood for people to abide by the rules, no parking after certain times, and some cities have that, but you can't park on the street, or you can't do this, or it just, I think it's a good thing if
it's a positive.
Yes.
In my opinion.
And every positive could turn into a negative if people overdo it.
Yeah.
Lastly, and I think there's more pros, but I think this is the main ones, is social perks, right? Some HOAs plan events, they do block parties, host holiday contests. So it could create like a strong sense of community, right? Our community kind of helps.
Yeah, we do the parties, we do like events here in our community, and like now the HOA that has taken over, they help. We did the 4th of July party, was sponsored by the HOA, which gets people to kind of to be more open to come to these events, because it's for all of the neighbor, which is great. Like some HOAs, like some communities like Eastmark, they have concerts, they have like, it's like a big thing, like Christmas lights and the holidays, like Halloween events, like they are very involved in those types of stuff.
Like Morrison Ranch with the Christmas lights. So if you're looking for that type of community where you have the extra like events and like really cool communities, reach out to us. We'll gladly share you the list of communities that have that in the specific price point, neighborhood, locations that you're looking at. Reach out to us, guys. All our information is below. And you go to our website, homesbyshant.com. It's going to be soon livinglifeinarizona.com, but right now still
Homes by Shant.
Yeah. So it's homesbyshant.com. Reach out to us and we'll share that list of neighborhoods that are actually good HOA neighborhoods. So
one more thing that I just thought about also, like a part of HOA is that if you go to the HOA meetings, like you can bring, if there is an issue that you in the community that you would like address, like you can bring your concern to the to the meeting, and they can just discuss it. That's
have you ever been to an HOA meeting?
No, but someone can. Maybe you can. I don't know.
You should. Tell the guy across the street stop parking in front of our driveway. Maybe you can bring that.
You don't talk to specific people, but yes, you can bring up like the issue of, I would actually join the next one just to say like we should not park on the street because it's kind of hard for people to come in and out. Anyways, but that's a big perk of having an HOA is if you have concerns in the community, it would be kind of heard. I don't know if something will be done about it.
I guess it depends on the rules and regulations. Yes. So I guess let's talk about the cons. Do you want to start?
Well, it's mostly the monthly dues is the biggest one. Is that you have to budget for an extra $100. I mean, the minimum I've seen, like if it's like a well-run community, it's $100 plus.
I mean, I've seen
It's if it's a if there's a pool and stuff, it's $100 plus. Like you don't get it below 100.
Yeah, I mean it's gonna be close, maybe $80 or $75 or but 800 plus. But like if it's a townhome condo, it's gonna be a little bit higher.
Yeah, probably maintain the front.
200, 400, right? Yeah. They cover a lot more extra stuff. So that is a con. Right? People don't want to spend that extra money. Yeah,
because you have to come up with that budget in your mortgage. Like when you kind of get qualified, you're like, okay. And then, but when you end up at a HOA community, you have to add that to your mortgage.
Yeah.
Make sure that you're still kind of within what you can afford.
Yeah. So a quick tip for if you guys are buying. So back east, we didn't really have HOA homes.
I have lived in.
But that was a townhome.
Yes.
I mean, single family homes weren't really. A lot of them were not in HOA.
Well, no, yes. In Maryland, they did have it. They did have it, yes. Because they had more of...
There was stuff coming.
Yeah, New Jersey's I
didn't see many. So, so something to consider if you are buying. So typically here, you are paying 2 months of HOA upfront. And the other thing that you want to watch out for is sometimes a lot of times there's transfer fees, right? Which is negotiable between buyer and seller. There is capital improvement fee, and those could be like a couple of $1,000 up front.
Yeah.
Right? So there's some fees that you just have to make sure you look through, not to scare you guys, because a lot of it, you could get the seller to cover it or whatever, except for the 2 months up front. That is your responsibility, potentially, unless you get it all covered. There's ways around it. But yes, so monthly dues. And if you're coming from out of state where you don't really have a lot of HOAs, reach out to us. We'll kind of get you the quick insight on the fee breakdown and how that works.
Yeah.
Number two, the number 2 con is strict rules and fines.
Yeah, some could be very strict. Like if one weed is growing, they're going to come and fine you or like give you a notice.
Yeah.
Or for the...
To be fair, the city could do that too in non-HOA communities.
Yes, but...
Not as like quick.
Not as quick.
Because in Scottsdale, like our weeds would be like a tree, and then the city would hit us up, like, because it was a rental, we didn't see it much.
And also we were on the road, like you could see.
That's true.
You could see
but the strict rules, right? So like if you want to paint your door a different color, you got to look at what colors the HOA has approved. You got to get an approval. So basically in HOA, people are like, oh, I can't do anything to my house. You can do anything you want inside your house. HOA is not going to do anything. I mean, unless you're trying to do some crazy stuff that you shouldn't probably do anyway. And the backyard, if it's like, you can do pretty much anything unless it's like protruding out where it's like impeding on your neighbors or something like that.
You can see over the fence.
Yeah. So like there's some rules and I think they're okay. Like, do you want your neighbor to paint their house pink? Right? That's going to be weird. So like they have like color schemes that they want the community to stay within, right? Which is fair. So that's not a bad
cohesive look.
Yeah.
The similar,
Sometimes a little too similar, but
yeah.
It is.
I'm surprised in our community there are 2 houses painted white next to one. They just painted it white.
Really?
I'm surprised that the HOA approved it. I don't know if
maybe they did it. Maybe
they didn't go. They're gonna have to.
So number 3. They limited freedom, kind of like back to number 2, like same
similar, yes.
But limited freedom, like you can't have RVs, right? Like in your driveway, you can't have a work truck. Usually that's a main one that you can't have it out. It could be in your garage, of course, but if it's a big work truck, they don't want that typically with the logo and the advertisement. Airbnb rentals, like short-term rentals, a lot of HOAs don't allow it, which is a good thing or a bad thing, depending on how you look at it, right? So like, maybe you don't want your neighbor to be an Airbnb. If it's a non-HOA community and you're in South Scottsdale, there's a good chance your neighbor is going to be an Airbnb, right? But if you're in a HOA community, it's not.
Yeah.
Right? So...
more than likely.
Yeah. Number 4, I think you could talk about this because you kind of brought it up already.
Oh, yeah. So the drama of like trying to like get on the board to have control or like have a say in over all of your neighbors.
Yeah, and it could be like someone could take over where they have like bad blood with some certain people or like a certain thing, so they want to like enforce rules that really...
Yes.
That's where we've seen a lot of people like why they hate HOAs is because of that. There's sometimes a lot of negative that comes with it, but
HOA drama.
A lot of HOA drama, but
also it could be very mismanaged. So like that's also part of the drama. Like you can, vote in people that mismanage the funds, and then you end up having to pay for something like things are still need to be paid for in the community.
So
and the people that live, the neighbors pay for it. So then the funds could be mismanaged as well, and that could just.
Well, that's number 5. That's a good segue.
Yeah.
Special assessments, which is basically, well, it's not really, it could be because of mismanagement where the HOA runs out of money, right? So if the HOA is like spending money on things that are not the most important, right? So like here in our community, there is a big park, right? But there's no cover, and it's like really like beats up the equipment, and it's sunny here, right? So it's like always like kind of hot to like play in the park, and even for us parents just standing there in the just sun. So a lot of parents want a cover, but we're not in the age, we don't know the numbers, so like they could just do it, but then the HOA runs out of money and then everything else goes to crap.
Yeah, if they're all managed,
they have to be really good at how they're managing their money. So
escaping fees, like making sure that they get people who are doing a good job, but also like not very expensive for what's coming in. So I think it's a big job to make sure to be on the board to make sure, because you're looking out for the entire, you could mess it up pretty bad.
So those are the cons. So if you're like, I do not want an HOA community, that sounds horrible, reach out to us. We will find you guys neighborhoods, non-HOA neighborhoods that are still super cool, super nice, and you'll be away from all the drama. Reach out to us. We'll send you a list. You can even go to homesbyshant.com, search non-HOA. All the homes in your location will come up with non-HOA homes. So if that's something you're interested in, reach out to us. We'd love to help you guys out. You mentioned in the beginning why there's some non-HOA communities that look like they are HOA communities.
Yeah.
And we have friends in some, and like we've experienced some where it's like you go there and you're like, oh, this is a beautiful community, and then it's not an HOA community. It's just how it is, right? Yeah. What are some reasons you would say? What's one reason that comes?
I think like some of it like that I have noticed it be like the neighborhood, like how it is designed to, I think plays a factor. How everybody's landscaping is done, and people taking pride in making sure their home is like looking presentable at all times, like not letting go of their front yard or their backyard bushes coming out of the fence, from the backyard fence. So I think it's the big piece of it is like pride. Like if you move into a community where everybody, that's kind of like the standard, and
that's been set from a long time.
If you're a type of person who would not be like, oh, I don't care, like I'm just gonna do whatever, like you're gonna want to make sure that your yard is well presented too. So I think that plays a big factor, is like the social, the vibe of the community, social pressure, and because you also want to fit in. You might not. You don't want to stand out like a sore thumb. Like with your house being like all a mess. And when everyone else is. And that, I think at that point people would interfere and say like, probably you gotta keep that, because there's a lot of those neighborhoods that you're like, you drive through and you're like, oh wow, this is super nice. And I'm the type where it's like, if I go through a neighborhood with like friend's house or whatever, I'm like, oh, this, and I look it up and no HOA, wow, that's pretty sick. I think the other that's the main reason, I think, is what you said, the pride of ownership, how everyone just kind of like, it started that way and everyone just kept it that way. We see it in like, sorry to interrupt you, some of like not super old communities, but kind of like in between, where it's kind of matured enough. It's not all new owners. It's not a new community. It's more like lived in, and then people kind of like super old. Yeah, it's not super old, and then people have found their groove. Kind of like, what kind of comes to mind? Well, I don't know if that one is a HOA. The one in Chandler that we went to, I don't know. But which one? It was a beautiful community. The one that you had the custom homes on one side, and then they had another. No, it's not HOA. Yeah, what was that called? I don't remember, but I know it's not HOA. So, okay. Because I looked. So that's what I'm talking about. Yeah. And when you mean by like newer neighborhoods, so any newer neighborhood is more than likely going to be an HOA. Yeah. Now, right? Yeah. But like, that's why you were saying like. Yeah, that's what older. So like, and what we mean older, I think here is like 50s, 60s, 70s or older. 80s, 90s is I think the sweet spot. Yes, 80s, 90s. Now there's some that aren't, of course, either. But those are the ones you'll find like the super nice, maintained. Like the Tempe listing we had. That was like even though like you couldn't really see, but like those are non-HOA. Yeah. The one with the pools in the front yard. Mm-hmm. They're all like respectable. And I think the biggest reason why some non-HOA communities are still super nice is when the original builder built it, right? Kind of to your point, where they did wide streets, sidewalks, landscape themes, and they turned it over to the city. No HOA to the city. And then some of these cities, like they just enforce it more, like in that little pocket, more than other neighborhoods in the city. So I think the city enforcement with like how the builder and then the pride of ownership, all those things come together. Because there's some like, dude, I'm telling you, you go through some of these neighborhoods and you're like, this is pristine. Yeah. And there's no HOA. So
And if you're looking for those lists of homes that are pristine in a non-HOA community,
reach out to us.
There you go. We'll send you those homes. As we wrap this video up, any like final thoughts?
Like we said, I think we're kind of like, we can go either way. I don't know.
I guess we have
Let us know what your conclusion is from our conversation. Like, what would you live in an HOA community, or you were like, absolutely not. I want to make sure that I can paint my front door orange if I want to, and no one can stop me.
So yeah, because I think
comment below.
Every 10 people that have reached out to me in my 9 years of doing real estate, right? 5 out of 10 will say, absolutely do not send me anything in an HOA community.
Yeah.
It's
and
literally,
when you dig in, like the reason.
Well, it's literally the freedom. It's it always comes down to the freedom.
Yeah.
I want to do whatever I want with my house. Like, okay, which is fair, right? Like,
yeah.
You may have an RV, you may have stuff like, if you're looking for an RV garage house, we got one for you in an HOA community, by the way. It's a 40-foot long RV garage, $600,000. Actually, we're gonna link this up here because I think it's super important.
It's cool to see a house with an RV garage.
It is built in a new neighborhood, 2020 built.
Very nice.
Beautiful home. We're gonna link it up. We're gonna plug our new listing. But yeah, I think that's a good point. People want the freedom. If you're okay with, I think there are some that are just really bad, and people have had bad experiences, and they're just absolutely don't want to ever go into the HOA, and I'm with it. We may not hadn't experienced that yet, so we will in like 2-3 years. Where we're
personally,
we've had clients who said, "No more, I don't want this HOA."
We've personally, and that's what we want to share. Like, we personally have not had a bad experience, but we also wanted to share the pros and cons of what we've heard from our clients. So that's kind of, hopefully this one was helpful.
Oh, quick tip. If you are buying in an HOA community, check the reserves of the HOA. No one really talks about this. And if it's a newer community, you're not going to get a lot of information. But if it's like an older established HOA community, get their reserves to make sure that the HOA has money. Because if they don't have money, that means they're going to raise the HOAs potentially sometime soon. If anything goes wrong, they're going to need the money from somebody. So it's going to be from you guys. So check the reserves.
And that's what we didn't mention about the fees. It always goes up too.
It does go up. So
so you start at a point, and that's what people
don't like. That's another one they don't like. That is a con, actually. Yeah.
That is a big con, is that, yes, the fee itself went initial, but then it always goes up. That's something that always people say, oh, I'm going to pay off my house and I'm still going to have to pay the HOA fee. So that is a big, drawback. And you're going to have to pay your taxes, your insurance, and then your HOA as well.
So we really hope this video helped. If you guys are looking for more information on like, if you need to sit down and like talk, get some counsel, get some advice, we'd more than love to help you guys out with that. If you guys are looking to move to Arizona, or you do live here and you're looking to buy or sell some real estate, we would love an opportunity to meet with you guys to see if that's something we can help you guys out with. And until next time.
Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.